There's an audio bit out there from Dearborn, Michigan, and I'm about to play it for you. And I just want to set this up. The mayor of Dearborn, Michigan, is a man named Abdullah Hamoud. Dearborn, Michigan is famous now. Everyone understands what it's famous for. It's famous because it has become an Islamic center in the country. And they moved in together and slowly but surely conquered it politically. A resident got mad about the naming of a street. Now, why would he be mad about naming of a street? Because they wanted to name the street after a pro-jihadi. I want you to listen to the mayor. I want you to listen to the question. I want you to listen to the mayor. And we're about to discuss conquest. This is going to have to do with Islamists and communists and all of them. I want you to listen. Here's how it went.
Hezbollah, bombed the embassy in Beirut, and including many Americans. So I just feel it's quite inappropriate.
You are an Islamophobe, and although you live here, I want you to know, as mayor, you are not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city, because you are not somebody who believes in coexistence.
Hey, I don't think we should name a street after a jihadi. You're an Islamophobe. Get out of my city. All right. As your blood is boiling, let's talk, shall we? There is a quote. It's from the author Frank Herbert. It is a quote. It's from the book. The book is Dune, okay? It's a fiction book. Maybe you've seen the movie Dune. Maybe you read the book Dune. Whether you read it or not, it's not important. But in that book, there is a line. And the line is made by the evil conquering forces who want to destroy everyone and own everything. And the line goes like this. When I am weaker than you, I ask you for freedom because that is according to your principles. When I am stronger than you, I take away your freedom because that is according to my principles. Now, that's a great line. One I'm sure you've probably heard before, but I wanted to talk about conquest in human nature and things like that. Why does that line sound so appropriate for Islamists? Why does that line sound so appropriate for communists? Here's why. It's hard for people who don't think like this to accept and understand that there are religions, ideologies, whatever you want to call them out there, that are exclusive, and they are dominating, and they believe in conquest. Conquest. We like to imagine because now we have cell phones and paved roads and we have the internet and we have air travel. We like to imagine that we have moved past certain periods of time in history, that age is gone. We're more civilized now. We like to imagine this, but I want you to understand that's purely imagination because human nature does not change. Part of the reason I nerd out on history the way I do is not just because I'm a history fanatic. It's because it teaches me about people. It's not that it teaches me names and dates and this army and that army. It teaches me about human nature, because what human beings were doing 1,000 years before Christ is the same thing human beings were doing 1,000 years after Christ. It's the same thing human beings are doing today, and it'll be the same thing human beings are doing 2,000 years from now if the earth happens to still be here, because human nature does not change. And we look back at the past, and we look at huge, powerful empires that dominate other people. We look at the Assyrians, and they went out to war every year. Every year. When the weather got appropriate, they would raise up the army, arm the army, and they would march out and just conquer something and just take it. And then they brag about taking it. And if anybody bothered to rebel, they'd skin them alive and hang the skins from the city walls, and they'd brag about that too. And we look at stuff like that, and it's almost as if we're watching a movie, right? It's almost as if we're watching the movie Dune or reading the book. It doesn't seem like those kind of people were the same species. They were different back then. No, they weren't. There have always been and will always be people bent on conquest. And that has never changed. And we have to understand, because tactics change, we have to understand what's happening around us and when it's happening to us. We like to imagine that we live in a more civilized time, but we do not. And Islamists operate exactly this way. There's a reason they flooded into Europe. There's a reason the churches burn all the time. There's a reason they now completely control large portions of the UK. Islamists operate exactly in this way. They are not coming to enjoy the fruits of your country. They are coming to conquer. People with that mentality. And by the way, that's not every single Muslim. It's the Islamist types who really genuinely believe in Islamic supremacy and these things. And there's a lot of them. And you have to purge that. But how do they weaken you? Well, again, they use your freedoms. They use, more specifically, your values against you. Hey, what are you, some bigot? Are you an Islamophobe? That they pull it out like a weapon, because it is.
Hezbollah, bombed the embassy in Beirut, and including many Americans. So I just feel it's quite inappropriate.
You are an Islamophobe. And although you live here, I want you to know, as mayor, you are not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city, because you are not somebody who believes in coexistence.
Islamophobe. Why did they fall in love with that word? The media falls in love with that word. The Islamists fell in love with that word. Why did they fall in love with that word? What is it? That word was carefully selected to use your values against you. You don't want to be a bigot, of course. You want to be a good person. You don't want to judge anybody by the color of their skin or their religion or what country they came from, because those are not your values, of course. You, of course, believe that God created all men equal, and you want to be respectful. And so the accusation is designed for you specifically. It's designed to weaken you. It's designed to get you to pull back, not speak out. But they are conquering, as if it's an army marching through an ancient city, skinning people alive. They are conquering. And the communists operate in the exact same way and use the exact same tactic, which is why the communists and the Islamists have joined forces to completely destroy the Western world. They have joined forces. They use the same tactics, and all these tactics are designed for you specifically. You have to be aware of it. And as we've discussed so many times before, you can never, ever, 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 under any circumstances, allow them to use your values against you. They design their entire strategy around your values because you are the only thing that can stop them. People like you, patriots like you, standing up, joining together, speaking boldly, rejecting things. That is the only threat. That is the only thing that will stop the Islamist/communist takeover of Western civilization. You and people who think like you, and you know who knows it? They do. So everything is designed with you in mind. We have to know this. It's not just a great line from a great book. Write these words on your heart, because this is how they operate. When I am weaker than you, I ask for your freedom, because that is according to your principles. When I am stronger than you, I take away your freedom, because that is according to my principles. A religion of domination and destruction, as I have described it many, many, many times before. They are an army of conquest, and they are on the move. And we have to be aware of it.